to the Building Your Brand podcast, where I am still doing my solo series over the summer. We've got a few more episodes to go, and today I wanted to chat all about mission statements for your brand. Now, you've probably heard people talk about mission statements and vision statements. They are similar but slightly different things. So your mission statement is a bit more like present day, what it is you want to achieve day to day in your business and how that's going to impact people. Vision statement is usually sort of future, like your long-term strategy, where you want to get to, the impact that you kind of want to have as a brand in the future. And I think it's helpful to have both. And I just want to caveat what I'm going to share today by saying you don't necessarily have to share this publicly, but I think it's really helpful for you to have a mission statement as a sort of guiding light in your business and for your brand. So I thought I'd start off by sharing some examples of the kind of mission statements of really big brands, because I think it's really helpful to hear them. And, like if you Google, you might sort of see slightly different worded versions of these mission statements. But on the whole, this is kind of like generally the mission statements of these businesses. And then I'm going to share with you a bit about how you can sort of break those down and how you can create your own mission statement for your business. One of the reasons that I think it's really important to have a mission statement is that I think it really helps to anchor you and to be the sort of guiding light in your business. I don't know about you, but I often can get really sort of lost into the day-to-day to-do lists and jobs that I need to do in my business, invoicing, all of these kind of really practical things that I sometimes forget the bigger picture about why it is that I do what I do. And it really helps me having a kind of mission statement in my head that I can keep coming back to. And I've definitely interacted with small businesses where I feel like you can tell that they're not very clear on their mission statement. They're getting a bit kind of lost all over the place. There's like a lack of clarity. Whereas I think when someone is really clear on kind of like the foundational motivation by what they do in their business and what their values are, that really, really comes across. And so that's why I think it's really important to have a mission statement, something to keep coming back to, something to guide kind of all the decisions that you make. A bit like, we've talked before on the podcast about brand values. Those can really help you make the right decisions in your business. I think your mission statement is like a bigger umbrella, again, that really helps you go in the right direction. So I thought to start off with, I would share some of the mission statements of kind of bigger, very well-known brands that we're all familiar with, because it's actually really interesting to read them. And, you can decide whether you think they're achieving their mission or not. And obviously, a lot of them have huge user bases, and I'm sure some people will feel that they are and some people aren't. But I think it's helpful to hear what they are, and we can sort of break those down and then use that kind of framework to help us create our own mission statements. So first up, we've got TED. Discover and spread ideas that spark conversation, deepen understanding, and drive meaningful change. I really like that one. And from my experience at TED, I think they're doing a great job. Google's is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. LinkedIn, connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. And as we talk through them, you can totally see how, the decisions they make and the processes and the systems that they set up for people, hopefully help them achieve these missions. MoMA, the art gallery, their mission statement is to share great modern and contemporary art with the public. I love that. Nice and simple. Okay, Patagonia, build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. That's a really big mission, but you can totally see how that influences the products they make and the decisions they make as a business. Sony is to be a company that inspires and fulfills your curiosity. I actually love that one because it's quite broad, and you can see how that can be applied to all the different things that they do. Nike is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. I think you could potentially listen to this and think, oh, well, I'm not an athlete, that's not for me. But they have clarified that in their mission statement, what they mean by athlete is if you have a body, you're an athlete. So it's very open, very inclusive. And I think that mission has served them really well. I'm not like a Nike, I'm not like loyal to Nike or anything, but I do think it's really interesting to hear those mission statements. Adobe's is creativity for all, like super simple. But yeah, I can sort of see how that potentially plays out. And I think that is a bit of a change for them, because I think in the past their programs were sort of seen as quite like exclusive, maybe only for a limited few. So that I think is a bit of a change, and they're trying to open it up to more people, make it more accessible. So yeah, I think those ones are like interesting and helpful to see how sort of bigger brands write their mission statements. So I think one of the ways that you can break this down is to think, what is your goal? Who is it going to help? And how is it going to make a difference? So like what that actually looks like. So for me, I would say that my mission statement is to help small business owners feel more confident about their branding and marketing. Obviously, the main focus for me is branding. I think I include marketing because the two are so linked together. And especially with like this podcast, for example, a lot of the content is about marketing as well as branding. So I like to keep it a bit broader. But everything that I do in my business sits under the banner of that mission statement. So help small business owners feel more confident about their branding and their marketing. So I guess the goal is helping small business owners to feel more confident. Like that is the difference that it's going to make, that they feel more confident. Who is going to help is those small business owners. Yeah, I think hopefully that is how people feel when they interact with my business. And again, probably I'm not going to be the right fit for everybody. So not everybody is going to feel that. But that definitely informs the decisions that I make in my business. So, this podcast, for example, I think really sits under that goal really nicely. When I create branding for clients, that goal is still the case. Like I want my clients to be able to show up way more confidently with branding that they love. When I ran my course, Design Your Own Branding, the goal was the same. Again, yes, they were doing the work, but the goal was still that they would feel way more confident about their branding because they had created something with my guidance that they loved and felt really proud of. And I think it just does really help to have that kind of bigger vision about what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want to achieve. And I actually find it so helpful reading the mission statements of those big brands, because I think it helps people make sense of what your business is all about. Now, I don't know about you, but I have definitely met some business owners where you can tell that their kind of desire to make money or to grow their business for their own end is the biggest motivator. And I'm not saying at all that it is bad to want to make money. Like all of those brands that I have just mentioned want to make money, but that is not how they communicate. Like that is not their mission statement. Their mission statement isn't to sell a service and make as much money as possible for their investors. Their mission statement is about the people that they are serving. And I do think as business owners, to succeed and to build businesses that we love, like we need to really genuinely care about the people that we are serving. And yes, we want to make money, and yes, we want to build a business that suits us and that is sustainable and that can grow, and none of those things are wrong. But I do think that you have to have this bigger mission that goes beyond just those like day-to-day things. And I think my advice would be, as you are thinking about your mission statement and you are writing your mission statement, like make it bold, make it ambitious. Make it something that you can actually achieve. I think the vision statement, again, should be something that you can actually achieve, but that's where, you can get a bit sort of like bigger in your goal. I think one of the ones that I really like to come back to actually, and this is really ambitious, but doable, is Chris Do had a mission statement, which was to, I think it was help 1 million creatives make money doing what they love. So, like it can be really ambitious and it can be really bold. It needs to feel like a nice stretchy goal for you, like something that you can actually achieve. rather than, something totally out there that is not like your business model or is not sort of like the scale of things that you are working on. So I hope that has been helpful. I would love to hear if you sit down and put together a bit of a mission statement. As I said before, I think, think about what it is that you want to do, how you want to help people, what that's going to look like. So break it down. Like, what is your goal? Who is it going to help? And how is it going to make a difference? And you can think about that from a people perspective, a planet perspective. There's all sorts. Again, this is going to come back to what your values are. They are massively going to influence what your mission statement is. But as I said, I would love to hear what your mission statement is. So come find me on social media. I'm at Liz M. Mosley or at Building Your Brand Podcast, and tell me what it is. And as always, I want to cheer you on. I want to support you and help you. And I just love having those conversations in my DMs. So I will be back next week with another episode. And this sort of solo summer series is coming to an end. We only have 2 more episodes left after this one, but I really hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback.